You know, things are falling apart in our culture because we've lost our central point of orientation. So look, here's another profound religious truth. Life is suffering. It's the fundamental Buddhist dictum. The Jews know all about it. The Christians know all about it. That's why the crucifix is the central symbol, right? Life is suffering. Okay, so fine. And that can make you resentful and it can fill you with hate, and no wonder. But here's the counter proposition. You need something to counteract the suffering of life. And what you need to counteract the suffering of life is meaning. And you need a meaning that's so profound that you say, the suffering that's a precondition for all this is worth it. It's worth it. So that makes being itself worth it. Well, you find that in the forthright articulation of truth. There's nothing more meaningful than that. And that's the antidote to suffering. Safety is not the antidote to suffering. There is no safety in life. Truth is the antidote to suffering. Sometimes you have two suboptimal choices. Frying pan or fire, let's say. Okay, so I could either face the consequence of saying what I had to say, or I could face the consequences of not saying what I had to say. Well, in my estimation, the medium to long-term consequences for me and for whatever broader social community I can influence, the medium to long-term consequences for me in that community of me not speaking are so much worse than the consequences of me speaking that it's a straightforward choice. I picked what I regard as the route of peace and truth. And now I'm not saying that I'm a stellar and sinless advocate of peace and truth, because that's an archetypal ideal and not a human being. But I have oriented myself for decades towards articulating my thoughts as carefully as I possibly can. And here's something interesting. This is something to think about. So I've been practicing that for 35 years and have given thousands of lectures. But more importantly, when I lecture, I feel in an embodied sense every word I say. And my primary goal is to speak in a manner that keeps me firmly set on my foundation. That's my primary goal. And I do that in every element of my life. And so I've practiced that for 3 decades. I've given thousands of lectures with lots of feedback, and I'm good at it. And over the last 2 weeks while I've been producing these videos, I have 4 or 5 people who are painstakingly examining everything I say and criticizing me. And so you speak forth your being properly, and that orients you in a world of suffering, and that stops you from becoming resentful and hateful as well. And we don't want that. And that's what I see happening on the radical right. So look, I would say, look, people are interested in this thing at a deep level, and I mean the deepest of levels. This is a cultural identity issue.